This is my review of House Flipper 2 in just 4 minutes. There's a certain amount of jank that feels almost inherent to simulator games. It becomes part of the aesthetic. The first House Flipper game epitomized this for me. I came across it late at night on a Game Pass or PS Plus, and despite noticing the slow pace, awkward controls, and glitches, I lost the rest of my night to it. This felt like the perfect way to play it because I had next to no expectations and spent nothing on it. House Flipper 2 is brave to follow this up because anyone who's played the first knows what they like and what it needs to justify retreading that ground. For the most part, it does. House Flipper 2, as the name implies, is all about flipping houses. It tasks you with bringing your handy dandy tools into someone else's house to clean up their messes or start on a renovation they've put off. You initially start out just clearing out a room or painting a wall, only for everything to get more complex as you are customizing wiring, changing house plans, and eventually fixing up an entire place. Like the first game, it has a quite clever start, throwing you into the messy environment that is your office without the tools needed to clean it up. Low on funds, you'll check your emails and find a few clients willing to pay you to fix up their house. House Flipper 2 is all about learning on the job, and there are a good few to get you going. Split out over 3 main areas, job emails have a rough pitch which you then accept and start. Taking its roots from those satisfying videos you find on the internet, houses are often left increasingly messy where you must meticulously clean and fix them only to make a tidy profit. House Flipper 2 is very similar to the first game conceptually, but much more impressive, with new mechanics, cleaner graphics, and full-on voice acting, even if voices aren't always the best quality. Animations are smoother and dirt makes more sense. It plays well into the environmental storytelling inherent to a big mess and has a bit of humour with it all. As well as adding mechanics, it does away with some of the more tedious elements of the first game, removing installations and replacing them with assemble mode. This has you build things like bathtubs and drawers IKEA style, which then gives you a discount buying them wholesale. The assemble mode does make me glad they aren't in the main game, as they do become more tedious and finicky near the end. For the smaller builds, there's a fun diorama of what it's like to build flat pack furniture, but more complex builds have awkward camera settings and some pretty poor visuals. For more to do in each level, there is a new unpacking task, where you have to take items from boxes and place them around the room. Unlike 2021's rather brilliant unpacking, they don't have a designated spot, so you can place them pretty much anywhere in the room to finish it, and a vision mode highlights remaining dirt, making it much easier to spot. These all come together to streamline the cleaning experience into a much more arcadey process. Projects may take less long, but to me they're a lot more fun. Painting's been changed up this time, feeling much closer to window cleaning. It can be a bit tough on the wrist moving your mouse up and down so much, but it's a good change that makes upgrading houses much quicker. Speaking of working quicker, perks make a return here, which allows some moment-to-moment progression, but don't expect them to keep you occupied for long, as you can beat the main game and get all the perks in just a matter of hours. If you manage to sink more than 10 hours into the previous game though, this likely isn't why you're here. When you get through all the emails and finally pick out the house you want to renovate, this is where you're given true freedom to smash down any wall, make new floors, and more. When you get here, it starts to make the rest of the game feel like the real tutorial, much like that feeling of confidence you get after beating the single player campaign for a shooter, only to get your butt handed to you in online play. It's great, even if the tedium of not getting it right is a bit of a challenge. As well as this, the sandbox mode gives you the ability to snap constructs together and can even be shared online for others to check out. House Flipper 2 on launch is an upgrade from the original in almost every way, as long as you won't miss those installation mini-games, but much of the fun of the next year will be down to what the community does with it, and I hope they do a lot. Thank you so much for watching my review. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I'm so close to 250 now, I think only 8 off as of the time of recording, so that is my current goal, and I'd love to hit it before the end of this year. If you liked, please subscribe. Thank you.